Increasingly, in the last 10-15 years, terrorists have recognised that the best way to hurt countries is to hurt their economies. What this has meant is that economic targeting has increasingly been a key modus operandi of terrorists. And while today, in many ways, we are dealing with a threat that has moved away from occasional mega events, and what we see instead is lots and lots of the small attacks, what these are designed to do is disrupt daily life and disrupt economic activity. Businesses and the broader business community can play a huge role in ensuring that they are both part of the changes that we make in our cities and its infrastructure in dealing with the terrorism threat, but also it's imperative that they understand that while these events are relatively rare, their impact can be significant and they need to have some internal dynamic at assessing how these things may affect them. It is the classic example of being prepared for the rainy day. You don't always need your umbrella, but you do need to own one. What is so dramatic and remarkable about cyber attacks is how much they're being driven by economic imperative. Indeed, almost all of the most significant political attacks we've seen in the last few years have been designed to cause economic harm with a hope that this will have broader political consequences. Think about this notion that terrorists and indeed state actors who use cyber realize that one of the best ways you can attack a country is not to steal blueprints of one of its submarines or to cause disruption to its army, but to take 2% off its economy. What we're increasingly having is that enterprises, IP, copyrights, innovation are what are being targeted, because if you can strip the economic and entrepreneurial wealth out of a state, it's remarkable how you can harm that. Understanding how this is driving cyber attacks plays a huge role in how you can help recognize the threats as they develop and mitigate the harm that may come your way. If one believed the headlines in the news, Islamic State are defeated, but we have to put that word defeated in inverted commas. While there has been undoubtedly a defeat of much of their military organisation on the ground in the Middle East, this only increases the sense to which they will try and look like they still have operational capability, and this will be done by attempting to attack countries who were involved in the military coalition against them. And as we've seen before, this may not be by attacking an army base or by attacking a police, but rather about going against some of the big names of the economies of these countries involved. Businesses need to recognise the threat environment that this produces. There's no need for panic, there's no need for massive changes, but there is a necessity to ensure that these risks are carefully monitored and the business is prepared for the unlikely but dramatic consequences that sometimes can occur from these events. According to the FBI, the 9/11 attacks cost $500,000 to carry out in total. Yet Islamic State, ISIS, at one point a few years ago, raising more than $3 billion a year in the Middle East. They were running a remarkably bizarre yet effective oil economy. They were running, in many ways, state apparatus and state revenue. If that money is leveraged, the economic and political harm can be significant. So they are defeated in some ways on the ground, but they remain a significant threat that cannot be ignored as issues develop going forward.